Hello folks, welcome to my YouTube channel once again. So in this session, we are going to discuss few ER concepts or entity relationship concepts. Let's proceed. So firstly, let us understand what an entity type is and what an entity is. Now before understanding what an entity type is, we should know what is an entity. An entity is an object in the real world which has independent existence. For example, person may be an entity, car may be an entity, company may be an entity, university may be an entity. So all these are entities. The entities may exist either physically or conceptually. Now here person and car are physically existing entities, whereas company and university are conceptually existing entities. Now we have understood what an entity is. Next we have to understand what an entity type. Now for example, we have a table name. Say for example, we have a table name person. Person will be having attributes person name, person ID, person gender, person working hours and much more. So a combination of this table name and attributes is called as entity type. Entity type. Hope we have understood what an entity. Once we have understood what an entity is, we shall proceed with the next concept, that is attributes. Attributes are nothing but they are the features or properties that describe particular entity. Now for example, here employee is an entity, employee E1 is an entity, and he is having an attribute name, address, age, home phone. And C1 company is also an entity. He is having the attributes name, headquarters and president. Right. After understanding what an entity is and what an attribute, let us proceed further with types of attributes. What are the different types of attributes that we come across? Firstly, we have composite versus atomic attributes. Attributes which cannot be further subdivided into components attributes are called as atomic attributes. For example, age. Age cannot be further subdivided. Hence, it is an atomic attribute. Composite attributes are such types of attributes which can be further subdivided into its components or composite attributes. Now, for example, we have address. Address can be further subdivided into street address, city, state, and zip. And street address can be subdivided into number, street, and apartment number. So the next type of attribute is single valued versus multi-valued attribute. Attributes which have single value for all its attributes, for all its entities is called as single valued attributes. Multi-valued attributes are such types of attributes which have multiple values for all its occurrence, for all its entities in the table. So such types of attributes are called as multi-valued attributes. Age is a single valued attribute. The example is, now there can be only one age. Age cannot be 20, for same person age cannot be 25 years and 35 years. Hence age is a single valued attribute. Whereas college degree is a multi-valued attribute. How is it? A person can be basic degree holder, and a person can also, one individual person can be basic degree holder, and he can also be postgraduate, and he can also be doctoral degree holder. Hence college degree is multi-valued attribute. What is stored attribute? Stored attributes are such types of attributes which cannot be derived from another attribute. For example, date of birth is a stored attribute because date of birth cannot exist from another attributes, whereas age is a derived attribute. How? Because age is found out by subtracting date of birth from current date. If you subtract date of birth from current date, we are going to get the age of a person. Right. So the next type of attribute is, which comes under attribute type, is null values. How can we define null values? Where can we place the null values in a table? Supposing I have apartment number attribute. When it comes to apartment number attribute, apartment numbers, for example, so one person may be residing in, the person may be residing in independent house. So he will not have any apartment number. His house may not be present in the apartment building. So he is living in the independent house. So for such person, the apartment number attribute will be null. So that is how null values are used. And if a person is working, if I'm working, if some of the employees are working for a company, now I have a company, I would have recruited some persons, some employees who have studied just 10th standard, and some employees who have studied college degree. Of course, for college degree, I can fill whatever degree they have done. But I would have included such people's details whose college degree doesn't exist. That means they would have studied only till 10th standard or 12th standard. So for such people, college degree does not work out. So what am I going to place there? In such place, I'm going to place null values. Null values. Null values are nothing but they are unknown values. Next type of attribute is complex attribute. Complex attributes are a combination of multi-valued attributes and composite attributes. Multi-valued attributes and composite attributes. They are the nested attributes. Now, supposing if we have a person with two residences where each residence has single address and multiple phones. So how do we represent such a complex attribute? We make one attribute, that is address phone. Now, whatever comes within the flower brackets, that is nothing but a multi-valued attribute. Whatever comes within the simple brackets, separated by commas, they are called as composite attributes. Now, address phone is a multi-valued attribute. Within the address phone, we have phone. Now, you can see here, my dear friends, phone is multi-valued attribute. You can see phone there. Now, as I told, a person can have multiple phones or multiple phone numbers. Hence, I have included this within flower brackets. Phone is having area code and phone number. Again, it is both composite attribute and multi-valued attribute. Phone is both composite attribute and multi-valued attribute. Then we have address. Address. Now we have address. Within the address, we have street address, number, street, apartment. So address is a composite attribute. Address is a composite attribute, and city, state, zip. Further, it can be subdivided into city, state, zip. Address can be divided into street address, city, state, zip. Whereas street address can also be subdivided into number, street, apartment number. Now, wholly, if you take it completely, this is a multi-valued attribute. The entire thing is multi-valued attribute. And there is a nesting of multi-valued attribute and composite attributes. Hence, we term this as complex attribute. That's all for today, friends. Thank you so much, and keep waiting for my next set of lectures in the upcoming days. Thank you so much.